Ladies, Leon Trotsky here, bringing you another Battlefield Bad Company 2 video. Once again, we're just doing another little squad deathmatch game today, and so, as you guys probably know, my squad deathmatch games, I don't talk too much about the gameplay because, well, frankly, it's just me running around trying to kill people. That's how we do it. But today we'll talk shortly about the gameplay. As you see here, I'm running the Gall sniper rifle, Gall Magnum sniper rifle with the regular scope, which, I've been using this primarily to try and challenge myself, as I've said before. It's a little bit more difficult to get some shots. It allows you to make some longer shots a little bit easier. And yeah, I've just been using that 4x scope as kind of a crutch, so I figured this is kind of a better way to increase my skill. I do have to turn the sensitivity all the way up to 100% usually, but definitely helps me out. My sidearm today is probably the Rex, just because I had not finished platining them into that, but I am now pretty much primarily running with only the M9 or M93 Raffica. Those are pretty nice little nose scope right there. You guys, you'll see some good gameplay out of this in this little match. Some nice shots, some poor shots, some shots I should have made, some shots I missed, stuff like that. But I left in most of my deaths in here. I cut out the respawn screens just to cut it down on time because this match did take a little bit of time. If you stay tuned, definitely watch till the end of the game, end of the video, because I had went on a nice little kill streak towards the end where I got a few nice shots and stuff. So the rest of this I just figured I'd leave in for something to talk over, get a nice little nose scope. This guy you hear him creeping. Come on. And if you guys haven't figured out how to do the quick scopes versus the no scopes and whatnot, you really got to pay attention to lining up the end of your barrel on the guy or in the center of your screen, kind of to where you're going to want to be shooting. And then it's just, a quick little zoom in and then shot without even zooming all the way in, and it actually works wonders. It's a lot easier to do with the 4x scope, obviously, but learning how to do it with the 12x scope efficiently, it's really one of those techniques you really need to get down, because it will become very useful. And, here's a shot that I miss right here where I move a little to the left too far, and that's one of the problems I have a lot, but I still pick him up with a Rex, which is, oh man, awfully powerful. This is one of those pistols that, it's hit or miss. You get in a groove with it sometimes, and I think I'm going to miss not using it after I platinum it. I think once I do platinum all the rest of the pistols, I'll probably switch back to this or the M1911. Obviously, I love the Garage too, because you could just pop people like crazy with it. But, guys, I feel like I haven't been keeping in touch quite as much as I have the past few weeks. This week's been a little busy for me. A lot of stuff going on, ladies, work, stuff like that. Just been staying busy. But I figured I'd check up on some current events. As right now, we just put up the DRMB podcast. I did that last week. They just put that up on Thursday. You guys should definitely check that out if you don't know what the DRMB is. Don'tReviveMeBro.com, little community portal that they put out. I'd hope most of my subscribers have already checked that out, but I got a blog up on there. I just did the podcast, as I said, and it's really a great community channel if you're looking for other people to play with. They got a lot of people that are looking for people to play with. And it's just a really great way to stay in touch with the community. They got all the community videos up there, some commentators I've never heard of, stuff like that. So definitely something I'd recommend checking out. And you can hear my sexy voice on the podcast. I'm on there with The Fingers Her and B. Barna, one of my good buddies and stuff. So definitely check that out. Other recent news, man, you guys believe in global warming? Because there's a storm that is blowing across the rest of the country. Right now it is about 75 degrees and sunny here in Los Angeles, California. But the rest of the country seems to be getting the shitter, because I've been looking at the news and the weather, and it's just the rest of the country is covered in snow. And to those people that don't believe in global warming, maybe they just don't realize that it's actually climate change, not global warming that's occurring. It's all the highs are getting higher and the lows are getting lower, the wets are getting wetter, and the cold's getting colder. I don't know how else to explain it, but everything's just getting more intense. And you look at the pictures of this storm that are just covering 70-80% of the country all through the center, and there's only California and Florida, the only states with any sun. And it just makes you really think that maybe the planet is going through some changes that we don't really see on a day-to-day basis, because our experiences and our observations are very minuscule in comparison to earthly universal law and stuff like that. But let's see, other news topics. Something we talked about a little bit in the podcast was that guy that able to hack the PS3, jailbroke the PS3 for homebrew applications and stuff like that. Let me know if you guys have heard about that, if you guys have any thoughts on that. Sony's throwing up a huge fight saying that it's totally ruining their system, that people are going to be playing pirated games and ruining their online environment, all that stuff. So I was kind of curious on your guys' thoughts on that. I thought it was pretty interesting that the guy did that, and I think that's going to be really I think our digital rights are what's going to be really important over the next 20 years or so. I think people are going to be trying to fight for our rights in little ways that you don't really see, because I mean these people are considered hackers. You know, like some people are like really look down upon these type of people, but you know people look down upon like abolitionists, you know, during the time of slavery and stuff like that. But they're really fighting for freedoms that they think were most important. So this guy, you know, I give him props. He's doing what he can do with the technology and, you know, immense brain power that he has. I could never figure stuff like that out. And he's taking a stand. And I mean, I honestly, I wish I could do stuff like that. And I wish I could take a stand on, you know, freedoms that are going to be important in the next 20 years, and having, you know, our digital rights and our freedom to do what we want with what we buy. So let me know if you guys have heard about that, if you guys have any more comments on stuff like that. The other big thing in the news right now, I can't believe I'm saving this for third. I'm saving the weather and, you know, the PS3 being hacked. But there is a revolution in the midst right now. As of right now, it's Thursday. I'm doing this Friday. The revolution in Egypt is calling for the president to step down, although he's already made the concession to, you know, decide to step down in 7 months. The people have spoken and they want him out. And, you know, in historical senses and looking back in time, this is something that is really important, guys. I don't think most people, you don't get a chance to see a revolution in history, and I mean, it's happening before our eyes, and people don't realize the extent that this is happening. And, you know, the United States, although they're trying to support, you know, people and freedom and rights, and they don't want a dictatorship from this president, you know, feel like he needs to step in with the military and whatnot, but the U.S. is probably freaking out, along with Israel, because we have put in a lot of money and effort and time into supporting Egypt throughout the years and supporting their army and whatnot. And they're one of our few allies in the region, along with Israel, who's also probably freaking out now, because if a new regime comes into power in Egypt and is maybe not pro-America or maybe not pro, you know, Israel, it could create some major issues in that region. And I think, you know, without going too far into, you know, Middle East diplomatic relations with the United States and whatnot, but I think we're going to see a lot of similar popular revolutions in the years to come. I think people are being fed up. I think people are starting to realize that the system, the banking and economic system in which they've been a part of, which they've found themselves trapped into for the past few years, especially, I mean, you look at Egypt as the example right now, but the people that are in this revolution, the people that are out in the streets, that are standing up for their arms, they're not a bunch of rebellious kids that want change. They're not, you know, a bunch of crazy people that are going to blow themselves up and, you know, a bunch of extremists. These are normal people. They're 40, you know, middle-aged men that are starting to realize that if their government doesn't change, they're unable to live. And that's the fight that you're seeing happening right now. These people realize that if there's not change in their country, they're not going to be able to put food on the table for their families. And that is a very interesting dynamic into the revolution of change, because how could you argue against that? How could you argue against these people who are just standing up for their rights, their, you know, rights that America has been founded on? You know, it's their belief that they have the right to live. And some guy that's been in power for 30 years is preventing that. Hell, I'd want him out too. I'd want him out in any possible way. I'd be out in those streets too if I was in their position. I completely support everything that those guys are doing. I wish it wasn't going violently. I wish there wasn't, you know, anti-protesters to the protesters. And it goes along, you know, in many different ways as to, is there any, you know, it's always scary when stuff like this happens, because you start to realize that, you know, maybe there's other countries involved, other interests involved that are, you know, putting protesters or maybe, you know, pro-government groups out on the streets to make this look a little more violent than it is. And maybe that's a case for, you know, the army or some military force to come in and spend money by protecting the people. But, you know, who knows really, you know, they say that it's for the people and this is a popular revolution, a populist revolution or whatever, but we really don't know. This could be over so many different things, and this could be, you know, this could be America trying to gain a foothold in Egypt for some other stupid reason. In the international scheme of things, what you see on the news and what we hear about and the stories that we hear, you know, they're very sensational and it sounds very similar to what could be going on, but in reality we really don't know what happened. We don't know exactly to the extent of you know, what these people really want. You hear, oh, we want the president out, but I don't know. I'm just, as a history major, you can never take things, as a person in general, you can never take things for face value. You can never take things the word as it is. You really have to understand the circumstances and situations which cause people to say things are the way they are. And so when you start understanding that, you start realizing that, maybe there are people that want this revolution to happen, and at the same time, who would these people be and what are their interests, and what are the people that don't want this revolution to happen. By analyzing that, you start to understand where people with different points of view and different mindsets will, come in, and where those arguments take place. So, man, enough about the revolution. Everybody loves the revolution. It's change, man. We can. Yes, we can change, right? Where's Obama in Egypt when they need him? Yeah, they need some change over there. But, my brother's like, would you ever like to see a revolution like that happen in America? He asked me that question the other day. And, this is when we're watching the news where the cars are on fire and people are running through the streets. And, you see the worst of it on the news and people throwing rocks and stuff like that. But, like I said, if I was in their situation where I felt that the government was not allowing me to live and to provide for my family, then yeah, I would want a revolution. I would want people to change for the betterment of the majority, because that's what we're supposed to do in this country. Is we're supposed to, live and prosper and change the government as we see necessary. So, I completely support it. But man, whew, revolutions. So much to talk about. Let's revolutionize Battlefield, guys. What kind of stuff would you like to see in any upcoming games, commentary, stuff like that? You guys digging the sniper rifle with the regular scope? You think it takes a little more skill? And that's kind of one of the reasons I wanted to bring this full gameplay, so you kind of realize, everybody loves the montage clips and stuff like that, but this is a little more realistic as to what a normal game might be like, sniping and stuff like that. Some normal shots. Obviously, I love quick scoping and no scoping up close and stuff, but this is how I would use a sniper rifle in real combat. So let me know what you think about that. A few of the other guns that I've been playing with a lot lately is the AEK. I'm trying to platinum that weapon. As far as medic goes, I've been running the Type 88 and the MG3. The engineer, I've been sticking with the PP2000 or the 9A91. I've been rocking the AT4 a lot, blasting choppers left and right. I got a few games the other night where I was on Valparaiso. I must have shot down 5 choppers with that AT4. All of them looked pretty amazing. I bring a little montage of that. Let's see here. What other? You know what gun I've been really digging on, guys? I've really been liking it. Hopefully I'll be able to bring out some montage clips. Although the clips sometimes, they're not super montage worthy. But the M1 Garand, I think, is a beautiful gun. I think it sounds great. I love it. I've been using it a lot, along with the Thompson. Those two guns. I wish I could just run, the pistol, the M1911, the World War II pistol with the World War II Garand. But already Platinum 1, so I think I'm about 4 or 5 stars with M1 Garand, so you'll probably see a little more of that gameplay. Let's see, I'll be bringing, as far as my scheduling goes, you guys, I know I had talked about getting, montage Mondays done and what like that, but, it's tough to get a good montage out every Monday, especially when I'm seeing a lot of the montages go up on Don't Ride Me Bro. I feel a little underwhelmed sometimes, so I'm bringing something a little different. I'll obviously be bringing some big montages, maybe when I hit a big subscriber count or something, but in the meantime, you'll probably see some weekly funtages, how people do shots of the night. I'll probably do shots of the week type of thing, where I'll just get some clips, put it over some music of, some of my more memorable moments of the week, stuff like that, because I probably, post up at least one or two videos a week. I'll try and stick with my squad deathmatch rants, if I can talk, right? But yeah, because I enjoy doing these, and it lets me keep up with the community, and allows you to ask me questions, and so I guess that'd be an interesting way to do a gameplay, maybe a community gameplay. If you guys want to see me play squad deathmatch with a certain game type, let me know, or a certain class. So that was the last kill. I love seeing those, and I think my final score wasn't anything amazing. I think we're on 20 and 10, something like that, a little 2.0 KD, and I even got ace pin because I got all those headshot bonuses, even though somebody else in another squad had more kills than me. But we still won. That's what it's all about, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Definitely go check out the DRMB podcast. My new clan tag I'm going to be throwing up is the DNR. Everybody's throwing DRMB. Do not revive. DNR, that's the farm. Do not revive. Anyways, guys, keep it real. Leon Trotsky, over and out. You know how we do.